Great time lapse.
One time,
did it?
with Canon, it could be better if you blended it.
Oh, look at that hair. That's sick hair.
That's like your older.
What I love about it, now this is a great big scene. When this scene comes out, I think people are going to be like, whoa, right, what you guys do in this scene. But it was great because this is the second take, right? This is the very beginning of the second take, and you got so emotional in the first take that you were already kind of in glossy-eyed when we decided to go for take two, which is great because right off of the first action on the second take, you were already like, something's wrong, you know what I mean? Which just flowed perfectly into him, like, whoa, what's wrong? And then that just led to a whole can of worms. So the second take for this was a 20-minute take that was just like showstopper.
20 minutes of that?
It felt like 2 seconds.
Yeah, it went fast.
The lighting, we color corrected everything. We purposely went cold on the scene, you know what I mean? Like,
it's our anniversary, and I got us a beautiful place that we come to once a year, all to ourselves. And you're crying because we're gonna break up.
It's the only time we see each other in the house.
That's not true.
That is true.
That's not true.
We sleep in the same bed at night.
Yeah.
That's it.
So I see you when I go to bed. I see you when I wake up.
You used to like hang out with me and talk to me, and you used to not think that I was just a bitch all the time. You used to want to fuck me.
my favorite lines. I remember I was telling you that, I'm like, bring up sex stuff, like.
Definitely always a little love about him, eh? Like, you don't anymore. It's okay. That's just the way it is.
What would you like me to do? Should I quit my job? Should I just quit my job and just stay at home and do what? Do you want me to come with you?
I don't feel like I'm a priority. I don't feel like I think about
I love the body right now.
This is men and women this right here.
I think about that's a fucking shitty thing.
I think about you all the time. I am always thinking about us. I am always thinking about you. I'm always thinking about we're together. In my mind, it's you and it's me and it's us. And I don't think you think the same way. You think about your job and you think about your schedule, and then I fit in there sometimes. It's just weird when I go to my family's house and they ask me why aren't we
Now you get some ammo here.
We've been together for a long.
They're pretty well versed on
All my ex-boyfriends have said that to me.
about every fight that we have, every
I do
conversation
hear
we
that.
have. It's true. It's not nice. It's true.
I don't feel
You just spent a day transferring someone else's relationship onto ours, and you can't tell
That's
your
not
son
what
at your
happened.
fucking age.
That's
Why don't
not
you
what
just
happened.
dinner
Very
like
well
once a
done.
week?
mom
And your mom's like,
The sound acting is really good.
And sometimes the noise.
Are you getting a kick out of yourself
I'm
now?
really enjoying myself.
This line.
Fucking blast.
That's great.
You have shit in your eye.
And you stop, you pick it, and you guys just keep going. I love it so much.
So I was like, oh my god, I'm mortified, but also like, this has to go. This has to happen.
Not loving this day.
Put the title in there.
Best button ever on a scene, Noah.
And then flick.
Fuck it, you call it.
Just leave. Just
So
go.
good.
Go.
And the door wouldn't open, remember?
Oh, yeah. That was fucking locked.
So actually, there's this whole bit where that scene carries on, I don't know if you guys remember, and Noah comes off screen, and I kind of whisper in your ear something like, go get her back. And you go back, and there's this kind of reconciliation thing that happens. And it's kind of like a week reconcile, you could tell that, oh, they're probably going to they didn't break up today, they're going to break up in a week from now. But we decided not to keep it, so let's just stamp it, right? Let's call it, it's here, you know what I mean? It was more dramatic in the movie.
Yeah. I love doing that scene because it was so like, you know, it's fun to improv with a gifted partner that you feel connected to, but like, you know, in most of those earlier scenes, we're getting along. Like things are nice, things are good, and when you can go at somebody, and like I think I had a pretty recent breakup, maybe like I don't know, under a year prior to this, and so. Oh, it feels so good to just like you can say whatever you want with no consequence.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And like just get it out. Like Katie, you're such a great punching bag on this.
Well, it's the whole thing I think of, what I like about improvising, this kind of improvising is that, you know in real life where it's like, you get into it with someone, and then you walk away, and then you always got that, oh, I should have said this. I should have said that. I should have said this.
Spirit of the stage.
But like when you're working on this kind of stuff, you just do another take and you say that now and see what happens.
Yeah.
Play that out. You know what I mean?
I always think it's interesting, like what projects are attracted into your life at what time, what's happening in your personal life, and I was having a lot of fights like this all the time. So I remember I would just think like, what do I say on loop? And I just threw it in there, you know.
Right.
So it's cool. It was cool, I think, to be able to use whatever was happening in my own life.
Well, I'm happy to exploit your personal lives.
I mean, we have to, right? Like,
but it's more than that too. Like like watching this, and I haven't seen this in a long time, but like watching this scene, it's like it's actually fun to watch it, knowing like what the process of shooting it was like, and just kind of we're just like having a fight, and we're just listening to each other and responding to each other, and like
you guys obviously were dialed in, so you don't know this, but wow, especially take 2 when you guys were really going at it. The whole crew was just like Dave was like looking at me and I'm like, and like Nikki was just like, Nikki like had tears in her eyes and like, I'm telling you man, like we were all for a second, and you notice there was no camera movement and stuff, because I told the main operator to kind of do some push-ins and stuff, but I think that he was preoccupied just watching your performances, so it turned out to be a very static scene, which actually kind of works for it in a way. And I even had another filmmaker, a crew member on the day, who saw this when it was all cut, and he confessed to me that it was his favorite thing that he's ever worked on.
wow.
Yeah, those kinds of compliments to me are like number one. When I know that like the talent had a good time, you guys legitimately liked it, and crew, especially crew. Some of these crew guys are so like
nice,
hard
really
and like.
Well, and they got Indian food. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
can't say bad word about it.
Anyways, yeah, you guys.
Well, it's really,
there's
fun
that
to
shit is
watch
all over my
people
reel.
fight.
That scene is just it should just be my whole reel should just be this scene.
But it's a good looking shot too. I mean, and I love thematically that it's nighttime.
You get the lights in the background.
The light has gone down in this relationship, you know.
And the dirty overs, really dirty overs, was like the half the screen covered with your out of focus.
You did have shit in your eye. You had like a big old fucking
I don't know.
eye.
Well, it's because you were in tears like the scene before, and you just went right away, and you just couldn't wipe your tear. So I think a little that block.
I was looking at weird
turns into
contacts, and so I feel like my eyes were just like wigging out. Like, who knows?
Like on another shoot or on another project, I'd be like, hold on.
Maybe you should.
No way.
But it was
Just like as soon as I saw it, I was like, fuck you.
I got going for this. It was a good moment.
Really
I still feel like they love each other though, in a weird way.
Well, yeah, you can see
Yeah,
some of
you
that.
can see that they
You
love
can see
each
some of that
other.
in the next scene, I think.
Yeah.
So, should we talk? Okay, let's talk after we watch the scene about how you came back. So we're back to